Hello everyone, and welcome to History of the Ancient World. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating journey to explore one of humanity's greatest inventions, writing. Have you ever stopped to think about how these symbols we use every day came to be? From simple text messages to epic novels, writing underpins our entire civilization. But it didn't just appear overnight. Its story is a sprawling epic of innovation, power, and the timeless human desire to be remembered. So how did our ancestors go from grunts and gestures to intricate alphabets? Let's travel back in time and find out. Our story begins not with letters, but with pictures. Tens of thousands of years ago, early humans painted stunning images on cave walls. Think of the famous art in Lascaux, France, or Altamira, Spain. These weren't just pretty pictures of bison and horses, they were a form of communication. They might have been records of successful hunts, shamanistic rituals, or simply stories told to the next generation. This is what we call proto-writing. It conveys ideas, but it doesn't represent spoken language directly. It's like a universal instruction manual without words. You can see a picture of a stick figure hunting a deer and understand the concept regardless of the language you speak. This was the first crucial step. The realization that marks and images could store and transmit information across time. The real revolution, what we call true writing, happened in Mesopotamia, the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, in what is now modern-day Iraq. Around 3400 BC, the Sumerian civilization was booming. Their cities were growing, trade was expanding, and society was becoming incredibly complex. Temple administrators needed to keep track of grain, livestock and goods. How many sheep were donated? How much barley was paid as wages? Memory alone wasn't reliable enough. To solve this, they developed a system of pictographs, simple drawings of the objects they were counting. A picture of a head of barley meant barley. A drawing of a bull's head meant a bull. These were inscribed on wet clay tablets using a reed stylus. But drawing detailed pictures for every single transaction was slow and cumbersome. Over time, the Sumerians streamlined the process. The pictographs became more abstract and stylized. Instead of drawing a whole bull, they might just draw its head. The pointed reed stylus was eventually replaced by a wedge-tipped one, which created distinct triangular marks in the clay. This new style of writing is called cuneiform, from the Latin word cunus, meaning wedge. This was a huge leap forward. Cuneiform wasn't just faster to write, it was also more versatile. The real breakthrough came when the symbols started to represent not just objects but sounds. This is the rebus principle. Imagine drawing a picture of an eye to represent the word I, or a picture of a bee and a leaf to represent the word belief. This is exactly what the Sumerians did. A symbol that once meant head could now also represent the sound sag. This allowed them to write down abstract concepts, names, and full sentences that captured the nuances of their spoken language. For the first time in history, humans could record their laws, their myths, their poetry, and their personal letters. We have found tablets containing the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the world's oldest works of literature, all written in cuneiform. This transition from pictures for things to symbols for sounds was the pivotal moment that transformed accounting into literature and record-keeping into history. Meanwhile, another great civilization was developing its own unique writing system along the banks of the Nile. Around 3200 BC, ancient Egypt gave the world hieroglyphs. The word hieroglyph means sacred carving, and you can see why. These beautifully detailed symbols were used to decorate tomb walls and monuments intended to last for eternity. Like early cuneiform, hieroglyphs started as pictographs. A picture of a leg could mean leg, but it could also mean to walk or to run. But the Egyptians also took it a step further. Their system was a fascinating mix of logograms, symbols representing whole words, and phonograms, symbols representing sounds. Some symbols represented a single consonant sound like B or T. Others represented a combination of 2 or 3 consonants. It was a complex but incredibly expressive system. For everyday use, like writing letters or keeping records, the elaborate hieroglyphs were too slow. So the Egyptians developed a simplified cursive script, called hieratic. Think of it as the handwriting version of the formal printed hieroglyphs. Later, an even more simplified script called demotic emerged, becoming the common script of the people. The key to finally understanding these ancient scripts was the discovery of the Rosetta Stone in 1799. This incredible artifact had the same text inscribed in 3 scripts: hieroglyphs, demotic, and ancient Greek. Since scholars could read Greek, they were finally able to crack the code and unlock the secrets of the pharaohs, a story we covered in another video if you want to check it out. While cuneiform and hieroglyphs were amazing achievements, they were still incredibly complex. Mastering them required years of training, and literacy was reserved for a small elite class of scribes. The next great innovation in writing aimed to simplify it, to make it accessible to more people. And this revolution came from an unexpected place, the Sinai Peninsula, a crossroads between Egypt and the Near East. Around 1800 BC, Semitic-speaking people living there, likely miners or merchants, were inspired by Egyptian hieroglyphs, but wanted something simpler for their own language. They took a radical approach. Instead of using hundreds of symbols for words and syllables, they created a system where each symbol represented a single consonant sound. This was the birth of the alphabet. This Proto-Sinaitic script was revolutionary. With just 24 symbols or so, you could spell out any word. It was easy to learn, easy to use, and incredibly adaptable. This brilliant idea spread like wildfire. The Phoenicians, a seafaring and trading people from the coast of modern-day Lebanon, adopted and refined this alphabet. As they sailed across the Mediterranean, they took their writing system with them, spreading it to their trading partners. The Phoenician alphabet became the ancestor of almost all modern alphabets. The ancient Greeks borrowed it, and they made one crucial addition: vowels. The Phoenician script only had consonants, but the Greeks repurposed some of the symbols to represent vowel sounds like a, e, I, o, and u. This created the first true alphabet, a system that could represent every sound of spoken language with remarkable precision. From Greece, the alphabet continued its journey. The Etruscans in Italy adopted the Greek alphabet, modified it, and then passed it on to the Romans. The Romans adapted it for Latin, and it is their version, the Latin alphabet, that most of the Western world, including English speakers, uses today. Of course, this wasn't the only path. The Phoenician alphabet also gave rise to the Aramaic script, which in turn became the ancestor of the modern Arabic and Hebrew alphabets. In India, the Brahmi script emerged, becoming the foundation for dozens of writing systems across South and Southeast Asia. And in China, a completely independent writing system developed, based on characters that represent words or concepts rather than sounds. It's one of the oldest continuously used writing systems in the world. So from cave paintings to cuneiform, from hieroglyphs to the alphabet, the history of writing is a story of human ingenuity. It's a journey from representing things to representing sounds, from complex systems for the elite to simple tools for the masses. Writing allowed us to build empires, create laws, and develop science. It let us share our stories, our knowledge, and our dreams across vast distances and countless generations. Every time you read a book, send an email, or even just jot down a shopping list, you are participating in a tradition that is thousands of years old. It's a powerful connection to our shared human past. What do you think was the most important development in the history of writing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining us on this journey through time. If you enjoyed learning about the history of writing, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to History of the Ancient World for more deep dives into our incredible past. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. See you next time.